Madam, shall we start?
Start, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. Very good afternoon to one and all present here. We are gathered here to celebrate. We are gathered here to celebrate National Reading Month, which started on 19th June and extends up to 18th July today. To enlighten us, we have with us an eminent personality named Dr. Deepa Prasad L, Assistant Professor, Department of English, University College, Trivandrum. Now I request our beloved Principal Sir for welcome address. Sir, please.
Adults, very good afternoon to all of you. We are.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Today is very special for us because we are blessed by the process of a very great teacher with us as a part of a National Reading Month. We have got a very special personality with us. She is a well-known teacher, Dr. Deepa Prasad L, Assistant Professor, Department of English, University College, Trivandrum. He has been teaching since 1998, a research scholar who has published so many national and international papers in the field of English. An authentic personality to follow. And she has been assisting the research work for many years. And she is like the right person to guide us in this beautiful afternoon. And Madam, we are really enlightened by your presence when we get a person of English. We expect something from a great personality. And when it is in connection with the reading month, it adds up to the beauty. And on behalf of Kendi Vidyalaya Sangathan, and on behalf of Kendi Vidyalaya Sangathan around region, and on behalf of our chairman, BMC, the district collector, and on behalf of all the loving students and respected teachers of No2 Kasaragod, I wholeheartedly welcome you to this event. And we are really happy to see and about to experience a great personality. And once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to Madam Deepa Prasad. Madam, please.
Thank you so much, sir, for those kind words. I hope I am audible enough.
Yes, madam, you're audible. You're audible.
Okay, so it's a great opportunity for me actually to meet all of you and to be given a chance to interact with you. So let me first of all thank Aparna for arranging this, and also Jinish for arranging this, and also the ever so kind words of the honorable principal. Okay, thanks for all those kind words. So I think we can start the presentation without much delay.
Okay.
So shall I start the presentation?
Sure, madam, you can.
Okay, I hope you can see the slide.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
madam. Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am. We can see, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, okay, thank you. Title for our presentation is Constructing Lives or Construct for Life and Reading for Inspiration. So that I'll focus on that part because I'm here as part of the reading celebration, as a month of reading celebration. So I thought I'll focus on read for inspiration. Of course, the constructing part is also there, but construction comes after the inspiration. I think it's a multilingual group here that we have, right? So I don't think it is safe to switch over to Malayalam. It should be a multilingual group here.
Yes. Better to be in English, madam.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, okay, yeah. So, reading for inspiration in this era of technological boom and everything at your fingertips, and when books are becoming sort of obsolete, how do we read for inspiration? It's a huge challenge, actually. I really appreciate KV, the entire family of KV, for observing this reading month because it's such a boon, such an inspiration for us actually, because we deal with college students who think that reading is outdated. So they just want everything at their fingertips. So really appreciate that effort. Now, why should we read is the question. So it is said that behind every stack of books, there is a flood of knowledge waiting for you. So you read one page, you read one book. It's not just one piece of knowledge that comes to you, but an entire flood of knowledge that awaits you behind those apparently dead printed pages. So why do we say that? Because it's actually an inspiration. It is said that reading is what rewires, or it's a sort of upgrading of your software of your brain. Okay. So can you see the slide?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can someone read this out
Yes,
for me?
ma'am.
The first one. Can someone read this out for me, please?
Ma'am, can I share mine? Ma'am, can I read?
Yeah,
Ma'am,
sure.
can I read? Ma'am, can I?
Of course, one by one you can read, no problem.
Ma'am, can I?
Sure.
Books aren't just made of words. They are also filled with places to visit and people to meet. Reading is dreaming. Right open with open eyes.
Yes. Okay. So this is why they say that we should keep on reading. Okay. Because when you watch a television series, everything is presented before you. In a video, everything is presented before you. So when you read a book, actually, it looks like they are built up of words, but actually it is filled with new places, maybe old places, maybe new places, maybe future places, and also there are people filled with different types of world to meet, and you live with them. There are certain books, after you read them, you are in that world for a long time. So I remember as a teenager reading books like Rebecca and Frenchman's Creek, and for weeks afterwards I'll be living in that world. Okay, so that is the way it inspires us, that is the way it lights up our imagination and our creativity. So along with inspiration comes creativity, which is a big factor when you're growing up, isn't it? Don't you think creativity is important?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, creativity is important.
Yes, so that is why it is said that reading is like dreaming with open eyes. Usually, when do you dream? When do you normally dream?
Night while
Yes,
sleeping.
night and day. Night and day.
Yeah, when you are asleep. So that will mean your eyes are closed, right? But when you are reading, you are actually in a dream. You are in a different world. You are in a world created by the writer. You are living with people who you don't know yet, the people created by the writer, and you live with them. You live in their world, and it's like a dream. Sorry?
Ma'am, like our mind will be inside that book.
Yes, exactly. So the mind is lit up. The mind is dreaming, and it's dreaming everything that the writer tells you and more. If the writer says the person came and sat, you imagine how the person sat also. So you add something to what the writer has given. So that is a huge thing, huge bonus as far as our brain is concerned. It's a huge stimulation. So that is why it is said that reading is actually like a dream. It's like dreaming with open eyes, not with closed eyes, not when you're sleeping, but you're awake, you are aware, and you are dreaming. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Is it beautiful?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah. Now,
Yes,
let's see how much imagination you can put into this. Can somebody read out this thing for me?
Ma'am, can I?
Can I?
Sure, sure.
Can I read?
Yes.
Can you can a can into an can like a canner can a can into a can.
You missed out an and there. That's okay. First time. Yeah. Who would like to try next?
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah,
Ma'am, can I?
sure, of
Can you
course.
can a can into an can like a canner can a canner a canned can into an uncanned can.
Can. Okay. It's an uncanned can. Okay. Yeah. Try again.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes. Yes, please. Please.
Ma'am, can I? Can you can a canned can into an uncanned can like a canner can and canned can into an canned uncanned can?
Yes.
Ma'am, now can I?
Ma'am, now can I?
Ma'am, now can I?
Yeah, sure.
Can you can a canned can into an uncanned can like a canner can a canned can into a uncanned can?
Okay.
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am,
Can I? Can I?
Sure.
Can I? Can you can a can into an uncanned can like a canner can a can into an uncanned can?
Yes. Bravo. Okay.
Canned can into an uncanned can like a canner can a can into an uncanned can.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's a tongue twister. So there'll
Ma'am,
be.
can I?
Yeah. Please.
Can you can a canned can into an uncanned can like a canner can a canned can into an uncanned can?
Yes. Okay. So a tongue twister is like there will be too many similar sounds, same sounds, coming very, very close.
Can I?
Yes. Yes. Please.
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah. Sure.
Madam, proceed, ma'am.
An uncanned can like a canner can a canned can into an uncanned can.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can have one more. Okay. One more because we need
Ma'am,
to stick to the
ma'am,
time.
can I?
Ma'am, can I?
You can I? Ma'am,
Yes.
See, if you all come forward, it will be difficult for me to complete actually. So
Yeah, we can
one
have
of
one more. Yes. Okay. One more and then we'll move on. Yeah. Go on.
ma'am. Can you can a canned can into an uncanned can like a canner can a canned can into an uncanned can?
Yeah, okay, that's the last, huh? Okay, because otherwise we won't be able to finish it on time. It's Sunday evening, so you guys will have a lot of things to do. So I don't want to barge into your precious time. Okay, right. Yeah, the thing here is in a tongue twister, we need to understand the units of meaning. Okay, it's actually can comes together. The one can is noun, the name of a thing, and the next can is a verb, action. Okay, so can you can a canned can into an uncanned can like a canner can a canned can into an uncanned can. Okay, so just a simple sentence, but so many things that lights up your imagination, right? I can imagine a canner who's probably wearing an apron, a hat, and then I imagined a Pepsi can. I don't know what you guys imagined. Okay, I imagined a Pepsi can, two cans actually. One is already canned, the other is uncanned. So you see such simple words, how it lights up your imagination and your creativity. Okay, so I imagined my canner to be somebody like from MasterChef. Okay, all in white overcoat and the hair covered and all that. Maybe you imagine him with a beard. I imagine him to be without a beard, clean shaved. Okay, right. So that is how the imagination works. Let's see if you can read this. Can someone try to read
Yes,
this?
ma'am. Can I?
Yes,
This
please.
message serves to prove how our mind can do amazing things, impressive things.
Okay.
In the beginning, it was hard, but now on this line, your mind is reading it automatically without even thinking about it. Be proud. Only certain people can read this. Please forward if you can read this.
Yeah, this is not even English. This is not even proper English, but still you can read. See, that's the power of our brain. We simply underestimate the power of our brain. You can make out, I think there are less than 5 or 6 words that are proper English. Okay, proper English words. But we could still read out the message. Would anyone else like to try? Maybe 1 or 2 more?
This message is improve how our minds can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning, it was hard, but now on this line, your mind is reading automatically without even thinking about. Be proud. Only certain people can read this. Please forward if you can read this.
Yeah. Now,
Ma'am, can I try?
yeah, please. Please.
Can I try?
Yeah, go on. Go on.
This message served to prove how your mind can do amazing things, impressive things. In this beginning, it was hard, but now this line your mind is reading it automatically with your with, with your even
Without
thinking,
even.
without even thinking about it. Be proud only. Certain people can read this. Please forward if you can read this.
Okay, yeah. Now, when you are
Yes,
reading,
ma'am.
like I said, we need to think of units of meaning. Okay, and we have to be careful of the punctuation. There are actually a couple of sentences there, and at one point, punctuation comes in between. Okay, in the middle of this line, not a sentence, but in the
Yes,
middle.
ma'am.
Yeah, so you have to stop there. Like this
Can I
message
do?
serves to. Sorry.
Next, can I?
Yeah, sure. We can have one more, of course.
Okay,
Yeah,
ma'am.
go on.
This message strives to prove how our mind can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning, it was hard, but now, on this line, your mind is reading it automatically without even thinking about it. Be proud. Be proud. Only certain people can read this. Please forward if you can read this.
Yes. Okay. Good. Wonderful. So, figuratively speaking, that's the title of it. Yeah. Sorry.
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
can I?
Last one.
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah. That's the
Ma'am,
last
can I?
one. Yes. Go on.
Only one will read now, because Madam has, I think she has many things for us. So you'll get a chance, okay? Just one child will read now.
Yeah. Last
Ma'am,
one.
can I?
Okay. Yes.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, Alka will read now.
Yes.
Okay. This message serves to prove how your mind can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning, it was hard, but now on this line, your mind is reading it automatically without even knowing about it. Be proud. Only certain people can read this. Please forward if you can read this.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So you have to take care of the punctuation when you are reading. The title is figuratively speaking. There is a question mark, so it has to be a question. Okay. So figuratively speaking, this message serves to prove how our minds can do amazing things. Units of meaning. Okay. You have to take care of units of meaning when you are reading, not just words, but meaning. So how our
Okay,
mind
ma'am.
can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning, it was hard, but now on this line, your mind is reading it automatically without even thinking about it. Be proud. Only certain people can read this. Please forward if you can read this. Okay, so you have to read it in chunks of units. Okay, units of meaning. We don't go for words, but we go for meaning. That's what makes it clearer. Okay, right. Great job, all of you. Great job. Okay, so the question now. Okay, the pleasure is all mine actually. Okay, yeah. Now the question is, why do we have to read? Okay, can you read any of the words given in the slide? Any of the words that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
interesting,
Learning,
escape,
entertainment,
information, relaxing task, enjoyment,
Interesting information, relaxing knowledge, reading things, reading stories, read different, learning,
learning time,
Yeah, right.
enjoy imagination, learn, relaxing, learn. Now,
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So these are different reasons. Yes, these are different reasons, and we read for different reasons. Okay. Why I read will be different from why you read. Okay. Or why Aparna reads. So we have our own reasons for reading, but broadly it will be out of interest. It will be for escaping our stress, for me getting pleasure, for getting information, for enjoyment, like to learn new things. So we have so many reasons, and primarily it relaxes you sometimes. But if you're doing research and you're on a deadline, then there is no relaxing. You'll be frantically searching for information. Okay, right. So this is a study that is quite popular. It is actually about the percentile that a student can score if he reads 20 minutes a day, if he reads 5 minutes a day, and if he reads for 1 day per day, 1 minute per day. Okay. But I don't really stress on the percentile. That's not really important for me. Reading is actually more than getting a good percentile. Okay. So this is the advantage. Like if you read 20 minutes for a day, you actually read 3,600 minutes of a school year, meaning you get about 1 million, is it? Anybody who's good with math? I'm really bad with numbers. Okay, 1,800,000 words, I believe. Okay, so in a year you gain that much of words. And somebody who reads for 5 minutes, how many words do you get in a year?
Ma'am,
282,000. And if you read for 1 day, 1 minute, 1 minute is too short a time. But even if you read for only 1 minute a day, how many words? 8,000 words. Yes. So out of 24 hours. Yes.
8,000 words.
Yes, exactly. So out of 24 hours, if we spend just 20 minutes, or maybe even 10 minutes would suffice, okay, would be enough. So 20 minutes of reading every day, you gain about 1 million words, okay? It's closer to 2 million actually, okay? So 2 million words a year is not so bad. You will become a very rich, you become a crorepati, a millionaire in terms of words. So this is what we English teachers normally say. You should build up your vocabulary. Once the words are there, vocabulary, is a collection of words that a person has. It's our personal vocabulary. Okay, so everybody has a personal vocabulary. William Shakespeare and Winston Churchill are two people who are said to have the maximum number, the maximum size of vocabulary. The words, the different types of words that they use in their writing is immense. Okay, nobody could beat that even now. So we normally say, always build up your vocabulary. Okay, try to collect one new word per day. Okay, a word a day keeps the dictionary away is our new saying. Actually, what is the normal saying? What is the original saying?
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, exactly. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So if you gather one word, if you collect one word per day, you will keep the dictionary away. You won't need the dictionary.
Ma'am, in our assembly we do a new word every day.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Excellent.
Every day.
Okay, good. That's excellent. Okay.
This is sentence, meaning, synonym, opposite, etc.
Okay, that's nice. Okay. So this is one word per day, meaning at the end of the week you will have 7 new words. At the end of a month you will have how many words? New words.
30 to
30.
31. Yeah, depends on the month. Yes. And at the end of the year, you will have
365 or 365 words.
yes, 365 days. That's one word per day. What we talked about earlier is reading for 20 minutes, okay, or reading for 1 minute. This is actually one word per day. So even one word per day is good enough. So end of 1 year, you get 365 days. End of 2 years, you get double of it. And reading for 1 minute actually is a lot more, 8,000 words in a year. So look at the difference, 365 words and 8,000 words. Or if you can read for 20 minutes every day without fail, you get 1,800,000 words. Wow, I can't even imagine. Okay, yeah, so this diagram actually shows all the benefits of reading. Okay, the main thing is that it helps in comprehension. Okay, what you read, you understand is improved when you read more. Yeah, you understand how certain phrases are used, how certain phrases are not used, how certain words will go in a certain context. All these will come automatically. There is no need to check the grammar books or to bother about rules. It will all come automatically. It's like learning to use a computer or learning to swim or learning to drive, for instance. Okay, I understand there are +2 students also here, higher secondary students also here, right? So some of you will be familiar with driving and all, I'm pretty sure. So beginning you will be very conscious about gear and clutch and brake and sound and horn and everything. But after a while you become comfortable and everything comes automatically, right? You no longer think about, okay, now I have to do this. Like using a mobile phone or a TV, you just pick up. So this is like a skill, and you just pick up things. You won't be, it comes naturally, it comes automatically. See, actually vocabulary is like an iceberg, okay? Like we have an active vocabulary and a passive vocabulary. Now the active vocabulary will consist of words that we use, okay? We use for speaking and writing, okay? Those are considered to be the active vocabulary, which we consciously use. And passive vocabulary consists of words that we understand when we come across it, maybe through reading or through listening, okay? So it's like an iceberg. The problem is the active vocabulary is just 1/3 of it. That's the visible part. And the passive vocabulary is the bigger one, okay? All the words that we understand, it comprises the bigger chunk of the iceberg. What is the peculiarity of an iceberg? What is the peculiarity of an iceberg? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah, so can someone tell me the peculiarity of iceberg?
one side of it is active vocabulary.
Yeah, iceberg is
Ma'am, outside it is small and inside it is big.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. We see only 1/3 of it. Okay, the majority is submerged. So our vocabulary and a vocabulary of an individual is just like that. We see only a small part of it. Only 1/3 is visible. Only 1/3 of the words that we actually know will we use it. Okay, and the other will remain passive. So our aim should be to build up words into the passive vocabulary. Okay, so every time we come across a new word, it is actually added into the passive vocabulary. And then after repeated, confrontation or use of it or experience of it, it moves into the active vocabulary and we start using it. For example, the word rendezvous. Are you familiar with the word rendezvous? You spell it as rendezvous. You spell it as rendezvous. Yeah, it is pronounced as rendezvous. It might come RENDEZVOUS. Okay, it's rendezvous. It's a French word. It means meeting. Okay, so first time you come across it, it is added into your passive vocabulary. And then as you keep on hearing it or reading it repeatedly, if I keep saying rendezvous throughout this presentation, maybe 10 times, maybe 15 times, what happens to that word in your vocabulary? What happens to it? You become familiar with it, and it
Yes, and it moves to active.
yeah, exactly. Good, excellent. Okay, it moves into the active, and then tomorrow, if you are writing something, it will come automatically to you. That is how you build your active vocabulary. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So one
Yes,
word,
ma'am.
one day, actually builds your passive vocabulary. Okay, and reading 20 minutes for a day builds it in an immense way, in an unimaginable way. The passive vocabulary improves like anything, which means the active vocabulary improves and your writing and your speaking becomes excellent. Okay, that look at Shashi Tharoor sir's language. Okay, that is how it happens. He has a very expansive or extensive active vocabulary. So you can imagine the size of his passive vocabulary, right? Okay, so that is how most of the writers function. When we write, we have to bring in more words to bring out, to make it more effective. Nobody is talking about accuracy nowadays. Everybody is talking about effective communication. Okay, right. So these are the advantages of reading. Your oral language improves, your knowledge building happens, vocabulary improves, phonetic awareness happens. You know what are the letters that go into it. Okay, letters, sounds, phonics, everything is there. You become familiar with spelling, you become familiar with pronunciation, and all these things happen. Okay, right. Now a lot of kids tell me, especially my college kids, God bless them, when I say you should read, they tell me, ma'am, we are watching all these series, we don't get time to read. Yes, watching TV is good. It lets you visit a lot of new places. We get to know about the sudden flash flood that happened in Europe. We see how all the luxury cars were being strewn out by the muddled flood waters. We get to see all of that. Yes, we learn about Bhutan, we learn about Burma, we learn about...
While watching TV also, we learn many words.
Yes. While watching TV, we learn a lot of words. Definitely, yes. We pick up the pronunciation. We're not. Nobody is saying it is not like that. But the advantage of reading is that your brain becomes more active when you're reading rather than when you're watching TV. Because see, this is what it's all about. When you're watching a TV or something on TV or YouTube, everything is presented to you. Your brain becomes idle because there is nothing for the brain to do, right? It doesn't have to imagine anything. It doesn't have to fill in the details. Everything is presented to you. So the brain will be like this, one huge blank space. Whereas if you're reading, only the outline is given, only the skeleton is given, and your brain will work furiously to fill in the details and to create a magnificent world for you. You'll meet a lot of people, new people, whom you will give the shapes, okay? Whom the voice will sound like you want them to be. Sorry, somebody wanted to say something?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, so this picture, actually, the bottom one, the black and white picture, I hope you can see that, okay? So that picture actually explains the situation. The middle of the tug of war is about actually the human brain. The book, the poor hapless book, is trying to reclaim the brain, the human brain, with just two hands. And on the other side, we have TV. Look at how many hands the TV has. It is actually more powerful and more enticing. And
TV is attracting our brain because when we watch TV, our brain relax. When we read, our brain should imagine that.
Yes. So the brain.
But reading is very good for the brain.
Exactly.
But while watching a TV, we can't do these kinds of things.
Right, you picked it up fast. Okay, yeah. So the brain becomes idle when you're watching TV. That's why when watching TV, you will go for biting nails or looking at tells and looking your WhatsApp chat or mobile phones. Even play games. I've seen kids watching TV and playing games simultaneously. While reading a book, you can't do this because you have to be 100% engaged in what you are doing. The brain is furiously working on creating all these new places and people for you. You just can't do anything else. Maybe take a sip of coffee, maybe to stimulate it more, or a tea, maybe, or have some snacks, maybe in between. But that's all. You are so fully engrossed in the creative process. Don't think that writing alone is a creative thing. Reading is equally constructive. Reading is equally creative, okay? So it's a tug of war between poor old book and the wonderful new TV, okay? Two mediums. One apparently dead pages, the other apparently dead screen.
Ma'am, while watching TV, we play games in mobiles and watch in between the TV. But when we read book, we can't, if we watch that, we can't read that.
Exactly. So the brain becomes idle. Yes, we do gain language. Yes, we do gain a lot of knowledge.
The advantage also, our head pain will not be there, our eye pain, and these are the advantages of reading a book. But the disadvantages are
Oh, great, great. This is so heartening that you people understand this, because at my college, or my college kids, they are very talented and all, but somehow they have been lured by the visual medium of TV and mobile phones and video games. Okay, so they say that yes, we would like to read, but we get language from TV also. You do get, but not creativity, not the way you get inspiration and imagination, the process of construction that can happen when you are reading. So that is why we always, the older generation, we always recommend that you should read a book. Okay, go ahead and watch TV, but there is no harm in spending 20 minutes of reading, right? Every day, maybe at least a week. There is no harm in trying that, right? So that is why we say, like for example, let's take this. Okay, can somebody read this out for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Cinderella had a wicked stepmother and two stepsisters. She worked hard all day.
Yes.
One day, they all went to a ball in the palace, leaving Cinderella behind. Cinderella was feeling sad. Suddenly, there was a burst of light, and the fairy godmother appeared.
At that. Okay, yeah. So once upon a
Ma'am,
time.
can I?
Yeah, please go on.
Ma'am, can I?
Upon a time in a village there lived a beautiful girl named Cinderella. With her wicked stepmother and two stepsisters, she worked hard all day. One day they all went to a ball in the palace,
Yes.
leaving Cinderella behind. Cinderella was feeling sad. Suddenly there was a burst of light and the fairy godmother appeared.
Ta-da.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Angela was feeling sad. Was of light, and fairy godmother appeared.
Okay. Yeah. So there was some signal problem, I believe, but anyway, you got the idea, right? So this is how last question. Yeah. Last question. Go on.
Down there. One day, they all went to a ball in the palace, leaving Cinderella behind. Cinderella was feeling sad. Suddenly, there was a burst of light, and the fairy godmother appeared.
Voila. Yeah, the fairy godmother appeared. Okay. Because we are running short of time, we'll, I think that would be enough. Okay. Yeah. So this
Ma'am,
is.
we are reading less than a minute. Now, in this paragraph itself, there are 60 to 65 words.
There are
60 to 65 words. Nearly we have learned it.
Yes,
that was
ma'am.
clear to me.
Ma'am, if we read 1 minute, like we can read this more than this much word. In this paragraph itself, there is more than 50 or 60 words.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, 50 or 60 words, but we were talking about new words. So I'm sure most of these words are familiar to you. There is nothing new here. Okay, so that's what we were talking about. We're talking about accumulating new, acquiring new words. Okay, yeah, right. So this is how we were all introduced into the fairy world. Okay, once upon a time in a village, there lived a beautiful girl named Cinderella with her wicked stepmother and two stepsisters. She worked hard all day, poor her. One day, they all went to a ball in the palace, leaving Cinderella behind. Cinderella was feeling sad. Suddenly, there was a burst of light and the fairy godmother appeared. Okay, so this actually gives you a lot of freedom to imagine Cinderella. See, these are so many types of varieties or variations of imagining Cinderella. You know, you can imagine her to be short with dark hair or very tall and slim, like Deepika Padukone maybe, okay, and very light hair, maybe golden hair. These are all different ways in which you can imagine Cinderella. But then Disney came, ta-da, there is Cinderella. Now, actually, we are not at liberty. Like, even if we read the text, This is the figure of Cinderella that comes to our mind. Tall, slender, with golden hair, with soft eyes, and all that. Okay, and the dress, the Cinderella dress, they have sort of branded
Blue color and glitter.
Yes, exactly. And this dress for Snow White, there is a dress for Beauty, Belle, which is yellow in color, in Beauty and the Beast. So they have sort of, that is the problem with visualizing things with the TV. They sort of limit our imagination and they sort of brand certain things. Okay, like for example, Frozen. So the color of the dress actually tells you which character this is. So that's actually taking away a lot of freedom from our imagination. Okay? We should be able to imagine things. That is where reading comes in. Okay?
We should imagine with the dialogue that who is that telling.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So print words, when you're reading, it gives a lot of freedom for you to imagine things. Okay. Right. So the problem is now we have decided why we have to read. It actually stimulates your brain. It actually gives a lot of boost for your brain. It improves your creativity. It's a boost for your imagination. We have decided why we want to read. Now, next is actually what type of material do we read? Okay, so there's a lot of materials available for you. There are newspapers, there are magazines, books, poems, short stories, novels, travelogues, essays. Would somebody like to read this out?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of material? Newspapers, magazines, books, short stories, novels, humor, essays, novels, sci-fi, sci-fi, drama, histories, romance.
Okay, yeah. I think there are a lot of hands that are raised. One more person can read. One more.
How she can I?
Yeah.
Newspapers. What type of material? Newspapers, magazines, books, poems, short stories, novels, travelogues, essays, graphic novels,
Yes.
humor, detective, thriller, mysteries, sci-fi, sci-fi, drama, histories, romance.
Romance, yeah. And there are also horrors. I forgot to mention it out here. But there are also horror works like Dracula and all. Okay, so you have a multitude of things. It's like a buffet. Where do we start? Which one do we pick? Okay, we want Tattadosha and Chamandi and we went to a buffet. I hope you're familiar with Tattadosha and Chamandi. Or maybe we want biryani. Okay, we want biryani and we went to the buffet and we got only fried rice. But then, maybe we can enjoy fried rice or we move on and get what we want. Okay, so it all depends on your attitude, your aptitude, and your comfort zone. There are a whole lot of things like that. So there are certain books and genres. We call them as genres. Genres. Okay, a type. Short story is a genre. A poem is a genre. Novel is another genre. Okay, so there are different genres available, and there are certain things that we enjoy. Okay, I love detective and thrillers and murder mysteries and humor. Of course, humor. A lot of humor. I love humor, and I'm not really into sci-fi. Okay, or fantasy. Or cli-fi. Cli-fi is actually climate fiction, which is actually a branch of sci-fi, but it's a very popular, hugely, immensely popular thing now. It's in the fashion now, okay? So these are the different types of materials. Now, how we choose actually is our personal preference, okay? Like something that we are very comfortable with, something that we find enjoyment with, that is what we should choose. Sorry, yeah, please go on.
Ma'am, I like detectives, mysteries,
good.
I like horror.
Yes, high five.
Ma'am, I like history.
Horror and etc.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. So these are some of the books that you can start with, or if you're already into it, you can also try it out. Because we always go for, as English teachers, we always go for the old books rather than the contemporary new books. Okay. I'm sure you must have read many of these, like Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Alice in Wonderland, Count of Monte Cristo. Has anybody read Count of Monte Cristo here? Or Robin?
What, ma'am?
The Count of Monte
No, ma'am.
No. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Okay. Anyone Robinson Crusoe?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And Tom Sawyer, I'm sure. Tom Sawyer, yes, you have read.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
great. Okay, yeah. How about the higher secondary people and this high school people? They are not saying much, I guess. Is it the little ones that are saying it? Okay, yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay, right. So, sorry. Yeah, these are the classics that you can try reading it out. Now, Count of Monte Cristo, it all happened way back, like 19th, 18th century, but it's still a huge favorite among readers. It's a wonderful book. So if you can try reading it out, that'd be good. When I was in my 8th standard, I read it 13 times. Okay, it was that alluring for me. And there are, of course, books by Shakespeare. Maybe some of you have to study them, at least an edited version. Yes, yes. So you may have to.
Yes.
There are editions which are suitable for younger learners, okay, or younger readers, young readers rather. So you can try that out. Shakespeare is a phenomenon. The words that he coined for his own use, and he would loan words from other languages. He would adopt words. He would adapt words. He was a master craftsman. So reading his work, the original works might not be that enjoyable for you people. That's for the English literature, the serious level of studying. But there'll be the edited versions, which will be fun for you. Okay, and then of course. There is Dracula. Yes, Bram Stoker's
Madam,
Dracula.
why we are classifying as fiction and non-fiction
I,
books?
I didn't get that. What is that?
Ma'am, why we are classifying as non-fiction and fiction books?
Fiction and non-fiction is like fiction is something that is imagined. Okay, now among these, actually, newspapers, magazines, some of them, essays, there'll be like histories. Okay, there'll be non-fiction. Non-fiction is like it is based on facts. It's like watching a movie and a documentary. A documentary is based on facts, but a movie may be based on facts, but it'll have a lot of imaginary stuff. So short stories, poems, thrillers, detective works, they can be based on true incidents, but there is a lot of fictitious work. Fictitious is imaginary work or imagined things and imagined people there. That is why we call them as fiction and non-fiction.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
there is this Dracula, the original work again, that might not be that easy for you. So I would say you wait till you reach the 10th or 11th standard to read the original work, but the illustrated works or the graphic novel version would be fine for you because that is the original of the, or at least the beginning of all the vampire stories that you're familiar with, that you find around you. And then there is a classic called Rebecca, which is a beautiful, beautiful book. Okay, there are many movie adaptations.
Ma'am, if we read horror books, we think more.
Sorry?
If we read horror books, we think more.
It depends on your personality rather. For once, personally, I don't enjoy horror work. Okay, that's my personal nature. Okay, I enjoy humor and
Okay, ma'am.
is more. But there are people who enjoy even movies. I don't like to watch horror movies unless they are beautifully taken, like Hitchcock did. Okay, in the old classics like Psycho, the original Psycho, not the remade Psycho. So that is more enjoyable for me. But the sort of thing with a lot of VFX,
I love horror stories.
all this makeup and all, it looks very funny for me. I don't get scared at all. It looks very funny, and I think, what the heck are these people doing? Okay, so it depends on the person's attitude and comfort zone.
Okay, ma'am.
I hope I can take a couple more minutes, not couple more, I'll need 5 minutes or more. I hope that's okay because slightly running out of time here. Okay. Yeah. So there is this classic called Rebecca, which is a very interesting work. And Daphne du Maurier, if you have seen the movie called Uttaram in Malayalam, that was actually an adaptation of another work by Daphne du Maurier. And there is this Frenchman's Creek, which is a book by Daphne du Maurier, which was the book that introduced us to the world of pirates. Before Jack Sparrow and Johnny Depp came on screen and mesmerized us into the world of pirates, it was the Frenchman's Creek. And that is what I said, after I read it, I was in that world for weeks and weeks. Okay. So that's again a classic that you can try. Okay. Then, some of these books would be very helpful for you, would be very beneficial for you because many of them are about words. Shakespeare is supposed to be one of the biggest contributors to the words that we use in English today. a lot of phrases, a lot of familiar phrases and words. Make a cuckold of, for example, or go green with envy. All these are actually his contribution. A lot of words like that. Okay, so these books, Will's words and fibbity gibbety words, those are all about words that he has used. This is actually a novel. The Shakespeare Stealer is actually a novel about a boy who was sent to steal a manuscript of Shakespeare's drama. And this is a sticker book about the world of Shakespeare. This is a pop-up book of Shakespeare. Pop-up books, right? When you turn the pages, something pops up, and
Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
to make it very interesting about Shakespeare. That's maybe for the higher levels, but of course, I make no discrimination between higher level readers and lower level readers. I don't believe age is a factor there. So I would suggest you can try it out. Whether you like it or not is another thing altogether. And then the ideas, Shakespeare book ideas simply explained, all these would be helpful for you. Especially, I would strongly suggest the fibbity gibbety words and Will's words. Okay, sticker book would also be fun for you, and this pop-up book can also be fun. But I don't know whether these are available now. I think yes, in Amazon it is available. Yesterday I was checking it out. I really wanted to buy this one, the Shakespeare Stealer. So I think it is available in Amazon. So you can try it out with parental guidance, of course. And yeah, another genre that you might like to try out is the fantasy or sci-fi, like Lord of the Rings and Roald Dahl and the Hunger
Harry
Games
Potter.
and the Narnia series. I'm sure you have read this, right?
Ma'am, I have read Roald Dahl's BFG.
Ah, good. Okay, this one, the BFG you have read. Okay, I've never read Roald Dahl, but I understand that he's a huge favorite among young readers. Okay, and the Narnia series also.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the Hunger Games series also. So maybe this is more familiar in their movie version, but these books would also help you. But the problem is, once you watch the movie, a lot of your imagination will be curbed. They've put a sort of blinkers into your imagination. And when you read about a character, you'll imagine that character in one way. Like, for example, Jack Sparrow. I can't imagine Jack Sparrow to be anybody else but Johnny Depp. So that is what it does to our imagination. Okay, then talking about detective books, of course, the first one.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, exactly. Almost 150, 200 years old.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, age cannot wither him, nor custom stick his infinite variety. So it's one of my favorite characters. Okay, we also have Agatha Christie. I haven't introduced it here, but we are all familiar with Agatha Christie and the Murder in the Orient Express, and and then there were none. She was a contemporary of, I think I mentioned it somewhere else also, contemporary of my grandmother's mother, and her works are still surviving and bestsellers at that. Not just surviving, but bestsellers. So we have the different detectives like Hercule Poirot, and Miss Marple. So I would say read the books first and then go for the series if you haven't watched the series. The series are all good. I'm not saying they're bad, but it's the books that lets off your imagination fly like a free bird. You can go up to anywhere that you like. You can dive down to wherever you want. That kind of a freedom is there only with the print books. And then if you're looking for legal dramas, okay, there is Earl Stanley Gardner. These are all I think that happened in 1930s, but they're still bestsellers. There is a lot of courtroom drama. So the people who are into that, you can try out Perry Mason. And they have such nice expressions and phrases that they use, which is not there in contemporary books. In the new generation books, I don't find a richness of language. Maybe it's my problem, but there aren't many phrases that you pick up unless you are reading Milton Boone. In Milton Boone, yes, of course, there is a variety of phrases that we come across as a reader. But otherwise, what I find is that the language is going bland. Rather, there isn't a variety of phrases and expressions like we used to get from the older books. And then those fans of James Bond, okay, James Bond, you need a word of caution. The books may not be as interesting as the movies because we are all familiar with the movies, and then we go to the book. It might look a bit draggy and slow and all that. And Fleming was actually into. Yes, have you read it? Who was that? Who was that? Who had read it? Okay, no problem. Yes, so yeah, you might not find it as fast paced as the Bond movies, but he talks about a lot of things also. Like for example, that thing, the stingray that killed who was that person? The crocodile man, Steve Irwin, was it? Was it? Yeah. Okay. Steve Irwin. Okay. Yeah. So he was killed by the by a stingray. Okay. And there is a short story by Fleming featuring James Bond. Of course, it was not just novels that Fleming wrote about Bond, but there are short stories also. So there is a story wherein he talks about this stingray. So you learn a lot more than we see in Bond movies. Okay, so that is another thing, and then you can have all these things about the underworld. Those people who are into knowing about underworld and mafia and mafiosi and all that. And there are books like classics like Godfather, Memory Puzo, and Dial D for Dawn. That's actually a non-fiction. Dial D for Dawn is a non-fiction, but it's a greatly interesting read. Okay, and for the teenagers or the young adults, I would recommend Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, age 13 and 3/4. Okay, Townsend, it's a really funny read. It's a riotous reading, so to say, but it's greatly enjoyable. Okay, and then there are books like Marley and Me, wherein it features a puppy, and there are the series of the Dalai Lama's cat series. Okay, there are 3 or 4 books in that series. These are all bound to be interesting for you, like slightly contemporary also. And you might be familiar with the Confessions of a Shopaholic series. Again, these are all series, okay, which were all made into movies later. So pretty sure that you must be familiar with Shopaholic series and Princess Diaries series. Then The Devil Wears Prada, it's a wonderful read. Actually, as a book, it's more enjoyable than the movie. But you have probably seen the movie now. So maybe if you go back to the book, it might not be that enjoyable with you. So there is another series called Fearless. It's about a girl who misses a gene. Okay, there is a genetic problem, and she misses a gene, so she's not afraid of anything. There are about 40 or 42 books out there. You can try that out also. Okay, and the thrillers, like so to say. John Grisham is another contemporary writer who writes legal thrillers. And if you're looking for medical thrillers, we have Cornwell. I've read a couple of works by Cornwell. She's pretty good. And Robin Cook. He has already written about pandemic. Okay, in 2018, he'd already written about pandemic. Not exactly about our pandemic situation, but very similar. Okay, so this is one advantage of books. When people tell me something as if it's a new thing, I tell them that, sorry, but this was written like 100 years back, 200 years back. This was already written by that particular author. So that's one good thing if you read books. And then, yeah, a couple of Indian writers. This you might find interesting. It's a writer called Anushka Ravishankar. Okay, there is a sitarist by name Anushka Ravishankar, but this is a writer, and she illustrates her books in a very different way. She uses quills and all, and this is actually a very popular book of hers. Excuse me, is this India? So this actually is supposed to be. I haven't read it. I tried a lot to get a copy of it, but I couldn't get it. If one of you can get it and read it, that would be great. Okay. So it's about different parts and aspects of India. It's about a mouse that goes on a journey. That's what I understand. And the Patanaik's retelling of myths. You must be familiar with this name, Patanaik, right? So the advantage of these things are that we get an idea about what has gone before us and what might happen after. Okay, so we get an idea and awareness about the past, and we get an idea and intuition about the future. So I think that's the best way to live in life. It helps you be prepared to face whatever comes your way, because we know what has happened, and because we know what might happen. That actually helps prepare kids, so to say, to face life with a lot of courage and determination and boldness. Okay, and there is another one by Kavita Kane. Kane is also into rewriting popular myths, the way we know things. So there is this Lanka's Princess. She's written a number of rewritings of myths. And this Lanka's Princess is about Shurpanakha. But then it presents a very different picture about Ravana and about Shurpanakha and all those characters. Okay, so from what we are familiar with, from Amar Chitrakatha and all. Okay, right. So these are some of the works that you can do. And in this age of saving paper and sparing trees from being cut down, and of course the new technology boom and all that, you can always go for online reading. There is no harm in online reading, but maybe you will have to cut short 20 minutes every day because it might hurt your eyes to read it in bright light for a long time. And the eye movement will be restricted to a very small space. Unlike reading a book means your eyes will be moving at least in this space, okay? But a phone means the movement of the eyes becomes very restricted. So that might cause problems. You may have to go for spectacles and all that to save your eyesight. So under parental guidance, you can definitely go for reading apps. Okay, this Project Gutenberg is a favorite of ours because we get a lot of classics like Aristotle and all other classics, a lot of drama, Shakespeare text and all that from this Gutenberg. It's free. It's all available online, so you can choose whatever book you want. And another one is Wattpad. I'm pretty sure some of you must be using these. Okay, so there is Wattpad. I haven't tried that. It has been reviewed. It has got great reviews, so I thought I'll suggest that. So always go for checking reviews before installing an app, and try not to give too many personal details. If they are asking for too many personal details, try to avoid such apps. That's not healthy. Why do they need so many personal details of us? They don't really need that. Okay, so all these are free, and this is Radish. Radish is actually probably for the young adults, okay, the teenagers who are about to become adults, like 9, 10, 11, 12, that age range, okay. You have very light reading stuff there, no classics as such. And this one is again another favorite app of readers, that is anybooks.com, Anybooks app. It's not any book, but any books. So this actually has a huge collection. It's also for free. Doesn't ask for too many details of the user. So I think that's rather safe also. So you can have access with these apps and try to build on your reading, try to build on your vocabulary and be inspired for life and construct your life, light up your imagination and become such great, wonderful generation next. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to me. Hope you had a wonderful time. I had a great time. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for this beautiful knowledge.
Okay, children. Deepa ma'am, it was a pleasure having you with us.
Thank
It
you.
was indeed, you literally took us to a wonderful world of books along with our kids. I now call upon Vaiga to for a formal vote of thanks to Deepa ma'am. Vaiga?
Yes, ma'am. I am Vaiga K of 7B. I would like to thank Dr. Deepa Prasad ma'am for the interesting and inspiring section she had with us. Her motivating words have deepened our understanding and would definitely help in our future life. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I also take this opportunity to thank the library, Aparna ma'am, for organizing such a wonderful talk and introducing us to what to say. I'm really inspired by you, Deepa ma'am. So happy to meet you, to know you, and all thanks goes to Aparna ma'am and also Thangapin sir for allowing us to conduct such a program. Looking forward for more such beautiful talks, and it was a good exposure for our children. Really, thanks a lot from all of the whole entire KV2 family. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I am really inspired by this session, and also the real reason for joining this session is my ambition is to become an IAS officer, and I have gone through how to be an and also we need a lot of reading skill, writing skill. We can improve our writing skill by using our reading skill also.
Yes.
And I am really inspired by your session. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
madam.
It's such a great pleasure for me too. Okay. Thank you so much.
My ambition is also become IAS.
Oh, great.
Okay, children, thank you. We can all, I think madam has other works also. She will also. So thank you for giving us your valuable time. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for
Keep smiling. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I'm leaving now. Okay, thank you so much.
You can leave. You can leave. You can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.